How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon White 2 post-game. Last time, we captured the final legendary, in this game at least, related to this game, if that makes any sense, Kyurem in the Giant Chasm, and we obtained the DNA splicers once more, and we fused Kyurem and Reshiram, and taught the Shadow Triad a bit of a lesson. And in this episode, we're back here at the Pokemon World Tournament. But it's not to take on the World Leaders Tournament. In fact, I'm actually going to axe showing that off because there's not really a difference between the Gym Leader tournaments that we did at the beginning of the post-game and the World Leaders Tournament. In fact, I think most of the teams are exactly the same between the two tournaments. The only real difference is that apparently Bianca was in both the Unova Leaders Tournament and is in the World Leaders Tournament for some reason, because she's not a gym leader, she's only a research assistant. It's very weird, but if you're interested in Bianca's teams from the Unova Leaders Tournament and the World Leaders Tournament, then you can see those on screen right now, I guess. Yeah, it's really weird, but again, I think I'm just gonna skip the World Leaders Tournament. I still have to compete in it to do the other tournament that's at the PWT, which is going to be a pain because I have to complete that 10 times in order to access it, but still, I'll show off the other tournament eventually, but I'm gonna skip out on the World Leaders Tournament. I hope you understand, but I mean, it's kind of repetitive after doing all the Gym Leader tournaments, because it's the same thing, except just the Gym Leaders are mixed in together? Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Anyway, on to our next destination. The next stop on our adventures around Unova, mentioning some other things, that's a weird way to put it, this is just the episode of weird ways of putting things, is back at the Game Freak building, because now that we've defeated the champion of Unova and we've entered the Hall of Fame, Mr. Morimoto and Mr. Nishino actually will rematch you. Now, Morimoto's team is very similar to his black and white team, which you could only challenge after beating the champion, so I will show that off on screen. Really, the levels are just different compared to the black and white team. That's really it, I think. I think the movesets are pretty much exactly the same. And then Mr. Nishino. Now, when we first battled him in Castelia City, he only had a little Clefairy. Well, if you will keep paying attention to the screen, you should be seeing what his post-Hall of Fame team looks like when you rematch him. Again, I'm not gonna show this off because we've already seen the Morimoto battle, at least, in black and white. And Mr. Nishino, it'd kind of be weird just to battle him by himself. Plus, there's still a lot of other things left to do in this post-game, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna skip out on that, but again, you should have been able to see their team rosters by now for the rematches, so at least there's that. And sticking to the Castelia City theme of this video, I might as well come up here after entering the Hall of Fame and talk to you. Yes, okay, good, I thought I screwed that up. Need to talk to Meeta, the PC manager. Hey, that's right, I have a bunch of Eevee. Would you take one for me? Sure, I love Eevee. This is an Eevee I received from my friend in the Kanto region. So you got it from Blue, right? Nah, just kidding, she got it from, Bill. No nickname for Eevee. Eevee is an amazing Pokemon that has many potential evolutions, including a new one that's introduced in the next generation. Oh gee, Meeta, thanks for the information. So, this Eevee that you get from Meeta comes at level 10. Yeah, I know. But it... Oh, Hardy Nature, isn't that... Yeah, it's neutral. I mean, that could be worse? Also, actually, no, that is pretty bad, because I don't know, it just depends on what you evolve it into. Anyway, this Eevee comes with a special ability. Its hidden ability is Anticipation, and whatever you evolve this Eevee into, that Pokemon will also have their hidden ability. So, Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, Umbreon, Espeon, Glaceon, Leafeon, they could have their hidden abilities. And you could transfer this Eevee using Poke Transfer into Pokemon Bank into X or Y, so you could get a hidden ability Sylveon too. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's for another time. Anyway, now that I'm done with that, let's move on to our next destination. And that leads us to Charlton City, because there are a couple of memory link flashbacks that we still need to show off. And the first one that we can show off is here in Charlton with Skyla in front of the Charlton gym.
Hey, what's up? I know, since you're here, I'll tell you a little secret. Skyla, can I ask you a favor? Sure, what's up? I've decided I need a PR makeover. I wanted to try out my new ideas with you. A PR makeover? That's right. Here's the thing. I make what everyone thinks is cool into reality, right? Well, I get to do what I want to do. And while being a model may be difficult, and most importantly, it's fun. But the hard parts are really hard. I mean, everyone judges me simply based on my appearance. People say that I'm reserved, and I don't look like the type who would tell jokes. So, I've been thinking about it constantly since then. A sophisticated joke. How should I put it? My looks suggest that I'm not a lot of fun, but I'll tear down that mistaken image with my own hands. I'll say something silly and give someone an opportunity to call me out, so we can all have a good laugh. Okay? Okay, get a load of this. Throw that misbehaving Clink in the clink. Cofagrigus is so cool, don't you agreegus? You bought those fossils from Clay. Did you buy them on Clayaway? Elisa? Those are just a bunch of bad puns. Where's the joke? Exactly. If I make bad puns when I'm supposed to be telling a joke, doesn't it give people even more of an opportunity to tease me and start a funny back and forth? That's a little too sophisticated for me. Actually, it's really hard to understand. Really? I guess I'll just rethink my fashion first. Sounds good. Hey, as long as we're hanging out, surely you wouldn't mind having a Pokemon battle with me, right? You bet. And don't call me Shirley. Oh, Elisa. Please keep this a secret from Elisa, okay? So, Elisa, of course, changed her look between Black and White and Black 2 and White 2. And apparently she also wanted to change up her sense of humor? I don't really know. Anyway, on to our next destination for the next Memory Link flashback. And that leads us back to the Iceris gym, puzzle and all, to meet with Bryson, the star of Pokestar Studios now. Well, since you came all the way here... I see, yes. Well then. Looking forward to it. Sensei, you called? Oh, you're looking well. Hey, I heard you're going back to acting. Indeed. Team Plasma's actions stirred the hearts of the public. People even worry about how to interact with Pokémon. Of course, it's good to think about that relationship, but still. even if you're told to find an answer on your own. It's not exactly an easy thing to do now, is it? That's why, if people can see my bond with my Pokémon when they're watching my movies, it might ease their worries. That was my reasoning. Oh, I get it now. Can't communicate that just by holding up in the gym and taking on challengers. But are you gonna be alright? What if you get hurt during filming again? Marshall, Bryson has decided already. Sometimes worrying can destroy potential. I'm fine. I have no doubts about my decision. Also, I appreciate Marshall's concern. I was young. I thought I could do any kind of action scene, so I would put myself in unnecessary danger. I thought this bravery was my value as a person. So, instead of trying to communicate something through my acting, I simply sought amazing action. That was how I got hurt. I think I understand. If you seek strength for its own sake, the reason why you wanted it in the first place becomes vague, and you end up desiring victory and nothing else. That's why I've also made an important decision. I'm gonna resign as champion. We in particular need to take another look at what it means to live together with Pokémon. The world at large is still shaken by uncertainty, so I have to show everyone a new hope. Well, if that's what you've decided, Sensei, even if I argue, that won't change your decision, will it? You've grown so much since you sought me out to ask to be my pupil. Could that be it? Did becoming part of the Elite Four help you grow up in its own way? I thought that if I were strong, my Pokémon would become stronger. Maybe I grew up because my Pokémon taught me that this isn't always the case. Well then, will you spar with me? I will observe. Thank you. I want to be sure my Pokémon are in top condition to challenge the trainer who will become the next champion. To strength. To Pokémon. I'm grateful for everyone's support. In the past, when I was hurt and depressed, Alder shared this with me. There is strength in being with other people and Pokémon. Receiving their support makes you stronger. I worked as a gym leader, and I came to understand what he meant by that. My desire became to strengthen this relationship that makes everyone stronger, the relationship between people and Pokémon. By focusing on the path of an actor, I want to make everyone think that living together with Pokémon is exciting and wonderful. Teaching is being taught. Excuse me. It's time for training.
And there you have it. Bryson and Alder finding their new paths in life between the events of Black and White and Black 2 and White 2. And now, on to our next destination of the final memory link flashback we will be showing off today. But first, Clyde, you're the only other person in here. Why did you stick around after all these years? And our last memory link stop for the day is back in Opelucid City with Drayden.
I was just reminded of Iris. Yes, the champion. That Iris.
Yay! I did it, Haxorus, thank you. I won because of you.
Well done, Iris.
What do you want to talk to me about, Grandpa?
Ah, yes. I was thinking about the past. I traveled all over the world looking for a successor. I even went to remote places such as the Village of Dragons. That's where I met you.
Yep, I was the strongest.
Yes, I was surprised. You were one with your Pokémon and battling with so much joy. Just watching you made me smile. Your opponents felt disappointed by their defeat, but at the same time, they enjoyed the battle. It was completely natural for me to decide I wanted to make you my successor.
I'm so glad I came to Unova. There are many different people and so many different Pokémon. And you know what? In the Village of Dragons, people take living alongside Pokémon for granted. I was surprised some people in Unova didn't think that way.
I found your reactions to be a breath of fresh air. And as a condition to leave the Village of Dragons, you wanted to broaden your experiences and become the champion. So, as I promised, I've been training you as a trainer and as a gym leader. An order directly from Alder came as I was training you.
Alder was smiling, though.
He lost to N and retrained himself. He asked me to help him with his special training, but it was ghastly. He wanted to become an immense obstacle for you, the new champion. For that alone, he pushed himself incredibly hard.
Alder was really strong, and even when I felt a bit weak, he encouraged us. He said that even when their backs are against the wall, my Pokémon have an intense look in their eyes. So that's why I won. But I feel like I still have a lot to learn.
Don't forget that feeling. And now, if I may change the subject. When you came to Opelucid City, I gave you those clothes, right? You're the champion now. It's alright to dress up a little.
Are these new clothes? Okay, I'll change into them right now. Wow, it's such a flowing dress.
What is important is your mental preparation as the champion, Iris. When I was little, Pokeballs didn't exist yet. Sometimes Pokemon would run away from awful trainers who didn't try to understand them.
But you were fine, right? I can tell. Your Haxorus loves you very much. I've already decided. I know what kind of champion I will be. There's a myth in Sinnoh that says the reason why Pokemon jump out is because they want to thank people. I'm sure that we and Pokemon have helped each other and enriched the world since ancient times. These memories have been engraved in each Pokemon's heart. So, I want Pokemon and people to get closer and closer. As the champion, I want to tell that to everybody.
Good. If anyone can do it, you can. I wonder what kind of champion she'll become.
Well, I know what kind of champion she became, and, well, Drayden, I kind of beat her up. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of the Pokemon White 2 post-game. Next time, we will be hopefully returning to the Pokemon Dream Radar. Hopefully I'll be able to record the footage enough until then for the episode to go out on time. Nonetheless, in case we don't do the Pokemon Dream Radar, then we're gonna see some familiar sights from Black and White. I'll just leave it at that. For now, thank you for watching, and until next time, catch you later.